Hello everybody, this is me, Basically Gaming Tim, back again with another video this time, and I'm very excited because we're starting a new series, guys. Yeah, I'm very excited, and hope you are as well too, guys, because this is going to be a fun time. We're going to have lots of thrills, spills, everything including the series. It is WWE on PS4, guys. Very exciting. 2K15. I know this is a bit of an old game, but hey, out with the old, in with the new, maybe. But this time we're going to bring back some classic, because this was a pretty good game when it came out. I mean, I was pretty excited about it, and I bought it, and this was a pretty successful game in its time. But we're playing it. As you can see, we're just editing a bit of the admin to here. But one of the fun game modes that we're going to step right into is called My Career. Now, involved in this game mode, what you have to do, guys, is basically you have to create a character, a my player, as you would a wrestler in this sort, and he has to go across and basically just become a superstar. He has to win, you know, you can imagine like a Hulk Hogan type, just legend in the field of wrestling, in the field of, yeah, and you have to go and make him great, and he wins matches, and yeah, you basically become a legend. If you sort of think of the new UFC game that came out with that sort of whole UFC thing, career bit, it's quite like that, and the way 2K are doing it, it's very EA-like in the way, very, you know, dramatic and stuff, and the whole create suite, it's kind of taking a lot of influence. I mean, as 2K would take a lot of influence on EA, that's what they've done. They've gone over and taken quite a bit of that sort of mode and brought it over to, well, to 2K and WWE, and it's made it great. It's their first attempt really in My Career game like this, and I was very excited about it. One of the selling points for me, and it's a very fun game. I've played it a while back. I'm calling it a while back. I played this game when it came out. But yeah, it's a very fun game mode and very fun to play. Go play it, guys. I found it fun. Hopefully you will as well. We're going to start this off. A new career. This character I was kind of thinking of the name of. Basically, guys, you can comment below if you want me to like edit the name, change the name, because I will in a future video. In the next one, I will definitely go ahead and change the name in the Create Suite at any time, of course. But in this one, this is just basically, I mean, you may love it or hate it. Go into the next episode in the playlist, because by the time you see this, a new episode will probably maybe out, so that'd be good to see that. But you know, watch this if you want to, skip forward a little bit. I know the crates was quite a long process, so I kind of edited it down quite a bit here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it anyways. And yeah, I had fun making it, so hopefully you guys had half as much fun watching this as I did making it. So yeah, that would be good. The Create Suite, yes, a lot of effort from this game went into that. And just thinking of it, like, imagine, you know, reinventing a game where you never know, because it's like with all games, when they make a new one, they have to try and trump the last one. A lot of the actual, one downside to 2K15, I mean, we're not doing a review, I could do a review in the future, but one downside to this game would be the fact that, well, for one thing, a lot of aspect was taken away, and good, you know, stuff was taken away from the main game, which is, you know, the actual game modes, like the wrestling match and stuff like that, and was put towards this My Career, and also the entrances as well. So a lot of the sort of visual aspects and cosmetic aspects of the game were improved vastly. As you can see, the rest is really improved. I mean, you might think they look a bit uncanny valley in some aspects, but I mean, they've definitely improved over the years, and they've made this into a great one. But some of the aspects were taken away from the gameplay, so as you know, gameplay does suffer quite a bit in this game, and also some of the other creative features that aren't to do directly with the My Career, like, you know, create a finisher, I believe, create a arena was kind of downsized a bit, and also create a championship belt, which I believe a lot of the improvements which I think were made to 2K14, they were suddenly taken out of the game, and also a couple of game modes which really was annoying, like the ladder match was taken out, I believe, and also we still haven't had an improvement on the Royal Rumble, which is usually one of my favourite matches to play as, but really would be so much more amazing if you were able to play with more than 6 people in the ring at once, which is just give that realistic feel. So even small touches that were kind of like disregarded in this game, it just does take away in my mind, and kind of makes the game that little less enjoyable and less more restrictive. Really, it felt like a more restricted, more refined, and maybe not in good sense, a version of 2K14. But in the My Career, guys, let's just focus on the My Career, because this is a fun time. Anyways, I'm just going to go through the thought process of My Career mode guy right now, because this is the first episode. Might as well just talk about what I thought of this guy. I wanted to make him, you know, the everyday man, the common man, kind of relatable in that sense. So probably like me if I become a wrestler or something like that. You know, I'm not going to become a superstar. Like, obviously I don't look like $1,000,000 really. So the wrestler wasn't going to look like $1,000,000, to be honest. He was going to look normal. He's going to look your average Joe, I guess. So I'm not going to call him your average Joe, but if you want to comment below and say of a good name, just think of something good. I mean, but I wanted to make him, you know, he's got quite a bit of fat content. So I mean, he's not perfect. He's probably like 60% fat and 40% muscle, really. He's a little bit overweight, and yeah, he's a little bit like that. So he's kind of old school in the sense of they didn't really care too much about the actual physical look of people. But yeah, I did really enjoy making this wrestler. I thought it was quite funny to make, and yeah, I enjoyed the avatar. It also kind of matches this. It's quite simple. You know, I'm not a flashy wrestler, but I actually show it out in my style rather than it's going to be a hard knocking sort of style. Just one second. But yeah, so simplify it down, just make it look basic really, but I'm going to show in my wrestling. And my wrestling is it's not too high flying, it's not too lucha, it's more down to the ground, down to earth, brawling sort of style. So you could kind of reminisce to Stone Cold Steve Austin, also with a bit of submission brought in as well, so that sort of style as well. So I guess you could bring UFC into the mix there, sort of a mix of, say, Stone Cold Steve Austin sort of boxing style, and also UFC. So I guess those two combined would be kind of, so definitely you will not be surprised to see me doing a lot of submissions to end my matches at points in some matches, and also a lot of, you know, my finisher is going to be inspired by a big hard man wrestling sort of throw him in the air finish. So a very, you know, spectacular sort of finish like that. But a lot of mine's going to be down to earth punches and stuff like that. So by, you know, reminiscing on just making him, you know, a bit bulky, sort of, I guess, also relates back to the fact of his wrestling style. So that, in fact, it's all, you know, relating to each other. So, I mean, you can almost make the comparisons there. So I was very excited about him, and if you want me to shut the F up, or you want me to talk less in these videos, just tell me. But anyways, I'm going to continue on in this first video, just to explain it a little bit more. Yes, so I very much enjoyed making the wrestler, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching the creative process. We started with a very low rating, just to let you know, in the next episode you'll see. But it's just going to be a fun time, really, to make this guy. Honestly, I'm going to enjoy it quite a bit. Quite a bit, guys. Dragging back onto the topic, what else do you talk about with this guy? Obviously, I haven't talked about this, although I won't talk about his actual wrestling abilities till episode 2. But that's one again. You know, his arms are quite a bit bit bulky, not in too muscular sense. Because I don't know. A lot of wrestlers in this game are just muscly and they look so stupid. So I just want to make them just a bit different from the body types. I'm so tired of having my wrestlers all look the same, really. So yeah, he's a bit different, but also sort of a likeness to me, I guess, in a sense, if you've ever seen me before. The hair is probably going to be similar to me, and yeah, the face, you know, it's not the most up-to-date. Like, the way they do the whole body morphing, it's not the most accurate thing ever, and the face never really looks very good, to be honest. But yeah, I do enjoy I just enjoy the way they've created the whole idea of, yeah, it can definitely get improvement, but a lot of the creative street is still very fun to do and very accessible and easy at the same time. So then I get into the attire here, or clothing as you could call it, as a common layman term. But yeah, the clothing he wears, guys, because this is very interesting. He's wearing, you know, these elbow pads, these black elbow pads matching the trunks, but I'm going to put a little design on it for you guys. I was thinking of something, what would look cool? I saw this really cool logo, the actual scorpion here, guys. This looks amazing. I mean, look at that scorpion. It's actually freaking cool. Reminds me of an old TV show. I don't remember the name. It was like a game show and it had scorpions in it. They look so cool. Honestly, I love scorpions for some reason. Comment below if you love scorpions. So I'm just gonna kind of adjust the size. Don't make them stand out too much, to be honest, because in that sense that would just be look really stupid if you have giant scorpions on your arms. So you know, gotta make them a little bit smaller, a little bit blend into the clothing, but don't stand out too much. I mean, most of the attention is drawn towards my trunk with the lettering on it, which, if you don't know, that's a few symbols that represent Scorpio. So I do think of that as my name, guys. So that's probably gonna be my name unless I change the trunks there, and I can change that. So don't worry, guys. Sort of inspired by the scorpion, then, I guess, a lot throughout the clothing as my theme, really. So yeah, I guess that's my name basically, guys. Scorpio. I should probably say. Also, you know, yeah, just bring that theme throughout the clothing. It's just a nice continuity, basically. It also looks nice. Cosmetically as well, it just looks really nice. And personally, I just think that's kind of cool. It's just kind of cool to just have it like that. So yeah, so hopefully you appreciate that, guys. Also, yeah. So, yeah, I just enjoy it. I personally like it. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Also, with the clothing, yeah, I might change it from now and again, just in case I get bored of it. Obviously, I won't be changing the actual visual features, you can't really do that, but with the clothing, I believe you can change that as you want to go. And obviously, you know, the entrance, so as you come towards the ring, you can change that as well, and also in the ring. So there's two different, and there's also, I believe, a third one, which is like your promotional, but I'm not sure. But anyways, I was changing the entrance, so as I go to the ring, I'll be wearing a hoodie. It just kind of reminds me of UFC in a way, and also like CM Punk with the hoodie on. But you know, in UFC, where sometimes you'll have the guys come out the back and they're just in their hoodies and they're like, or boxing gear, yeah, sort of like Rocky, you know, with his big hoodie on, and he comes out and then he just pulls it off, and yeah, he's ready to go. Like, no, more like the Rocky training sequence. I'm not talking about, you know, Rocky from the actual fights where he was in the big American boxing gear. But anyways, this guy is a hoodie. He's very, you know, casual, I guess, in a sense, but not, you know, he's in fighting mindset, I would say. He's like, you know, if you're walking around the street, he would fight you, mate. He would fight you. So yeah, in that sense, make it all black just to blend it. It blends in really nice, and I love the black hoodie. It just looks so cool, to be honest. Yeah, they nailed the F out of it. And the inside, guys, I went with something a bit crazy, because you have to have something different. Because, I mean, look, I just went with like an orangey colour just to blend in with the scorpion tone. I know I'm going to a very weird detail, a weirdly crazy amount of detail on just the clothing alone. But I think it's just cool. I think it's just nice to point out. So yeah, that's cool clothing. I like it. Hopefully you guys appreciate that, I guess. Yeah, so that's cool.